Hey, and thank you for clicking play. I wasn't going to do a video this week, but some stuff has happened that I just really want to share with you. Before I get into that, just to let you know that the main video I'm actually working on is the A1200 restoration, which is, well, you'll see it when it comes out. But yeah, that will take me a bit of time. I don't want to rush anything, so in terms of what I'm doing to the A1200. So no spoilers on how that's going. But yeah, I'm very excited to be able to share that with you soon. The reason why, I've got a dirty chai. Didn't mean to rhyme that, but there we go. The reason why I wanted to do a quick video today is because I've actually done some unexpected pickups. So I've mentioned before that, the bargains aren't really out there anymore. Everybody knows the value of this stuff. And even charity shops, they have experts checking eBay for the market and putting certain prices on things. And often that's unfortunately fairly misguided. So stuff sits unsold. And if you do find anything in a charity shop, sometimes it's more expensive than a cashies, a pawn shop or, cash converters, that kind of thing, which is a real shame. Add on to that, just the fact that when you do find stuff in the charity shops, it really isn't anything of any value. It'll be another copy of The Sims or an add-on to The Sims, or it'll be a copy of FIFA. Even over here in Australia, you freaking see copies of FIFA. It's like a virus. So there goes YouTube, probably changing something in the algorithm because I said the V word. But anyway, so when stuff does come up, it's worth showing you guys what has come up. So this is from a local charity shop, literally 5 minutes walk from my house, and it's attached to a church. So it's not the same as the big franchises. And because I had some days off this week, I popped in there yesterday just on the off chance, and I spied some stuff, and I thought, okay, I'm going to have that, but they're cash only. So they actually put some stuff aside for me. So I went in today, picked up the stuff they put aside, and also added some other items to it as well. What I'm about to show you, the price they were charging was $2 per item. So about £1. I picked up 8 items that you're about to see. And when I got there, she goes, I'll give you a slight discount, so you can have it for this much in total. So basically it worked out to $1.50 per item. So about 75 pence per item that you're about to see. I couldn't do that. So I actually, for the 8 items that I picked up, I gave her $20 and said, because that's what I had in my pocket, and said, keep the change. I could have gone back to the table. There was some more items I left behind for somebody else to score. Not many, granted, but I did leave some stuff there. So I could have picked up some more items, but I just said, look, whatever. Just have it. So there's basically the official price on these items was $1.50, so 75 pence. That's the final price. What I gave them over and above, let's call that a separate donation, because she was happy to sell these items to me at $1.50, 75 pence per game. Have I built it up enough? Do I need to do some more rambling? Oh my goodness. We'll do these 2 first, because I think these are fairly easy to come by still. In fact, I'm just going to put stuff there. I assume that's out of shot. So we've got PSP, Tomb Raider. Now, somebody can let me know. I assume there should be a manual in there. There's no manual, but there is obviously the disc there. Lara Croft Tomb Raider Anniversary Edition. There you go. PSP. I don't have a PSP. I'll tell you my intention for these games when we get to the end. PSP, Force Unleashed. I hope this camera's actually bothering to focus this time. It's definitely on autofocus. Didn't work for me last time. So Force Unleashed. Oh, I didn't even check that in the shop. This does have the manual inside. And you got the disc there. It's got the manual. And that's not bad condition at all. 75 pence for you guys in the UK. 75 pence. Force Unleashed. Okay. PlayStation 1 Warhammer Dark Omen. 75 pence. With the manual and the disc. Oh, that's a bit dusty, but I think that'll clean up all right. Can't see any scratches, but it is dusty. It's upside down. Turn it around. Don't turn it around with the dust on it like that. There we go. That's insane. That's absolutely insane. Anyway. Oh, Lara's fallen over. She's turned to the dark side there. Warhammer Shadow of the Honoured Rat. PlayStation. These cases seem okay. Not too, you know, a little bit of markings on there. Got the manual. You got a yellow slippy thing. So all your paperwork is there. And you got the disc. Can't see any scratches. £75. 75 pence. Oh, they stuck a sticker on it to put it. They've actually stuck a sticker on the case. Oh, that's fine. It's peeling off easy, and I'll wash. I'll clean that with a little bit of ISO just to get off any residue. But look at that. Now, nice way to reveal. It's actually not too sticky, but I will ISO it. Right. So, MDK. So for me, this was more of a. This is possibly the first game I ever played on a Mac. One of my mates was living with us as our roommate for a while in a little 2 up, 2 down in England, and he had one of the original iMacs. He was a graphic designer, and he showed me MDK on his Mac. First game to actually make me think, oh, Macs can play games, can they? But this is the PlayStation version, obviously. So really nice to have this. I saw this on Dave Retro Games Played Badly on his pickups. No, he was showing off his entire PlayStation collection. There we go, dusty again, can't see any scratches. These look hardly used. You know, when you're seeing dust more than scratches, it really hasn't been used. MDK, Murder Death Kill. And PlayStation original Gran Turismo. Oh, it was the original Gran Turismo. I knew I was right. So I got my facts wrong in a comment that I put. I originally put that Gran Turismo was the first game to use primarily the game that launched the DualShock controller as we now know it with the thumbsticks. Because the original PlayStation just had digital controllers. There were no thumbsticks and all the buttons were digital. There was no pressure sensitive. And it was with the release of Gran Turismo that really launched the new controllers, and you needed the controllers. And what I altered in the comment, I said it was maybe Gran Turismo 2. I originally put Gran Turismo, and then I looked up some dates, and they weren't lining up with what I was seeing on Wikipedia, so I actually changed my comment and said Gran Turismo 2. That was on Dave Retro Games Played Badly's PlayStation video, his collection video that I commented that. But in my head, I was thinking it was the original Gran Turismo, and sure enough it was. Sorry, that ramble was because it's actually advertising the DualShock there. You need the DualShock controller. And that was why. Gran Turismo, the original Gran Turismo PlayStation. Inside, 75 pence, guys. 75 pence. Oh, a little bit of scuffing at the edge of the manual there, but it's got the manual. Look, again. This was a feature. Analog controller, DualShock. And look, all this write-up because it was new. And this is where people got angry when the PlayStation Mini came out because it had the old-style controller without the thumbsticks. Everybody's going, What's that about? They didn't get that this was harking back to the original PlayStation with the original controller, and that was reflected in the games that came on that as well. I actually wish I'd picked one up, especially when they went down to $25 in the shops over here. I should have picked one up. Anyway, Gran Turismo, no scratches. So that's a game for my plots, because, yeah, I'll tell you my PlayStation history in a minute, which may affect what happens to some of these games. Okay, what we got here? V-Rally, second to last game. Got V-Rally there. And it's got the manual. And it's got the disc. And that, again, looks flawless. Wow! Wow, wow, these are all in great condition. These, the Warhammer ones, not so much in terms of the case. There's a crack I can see there, and just a bit of discoloration on the cases. These front ones so far have been fantastic. Last one, Wing Commander 3. Look at that. So this is the one with Mark Hamill. Got some full motion video, space combat game, story-led, with Mark Hamill playing one of the main characters. Wing Commander 3. And you got a lot of discs for this. Disc 1, Disc 2, because of all the full motion video. Disc 3 and Disc 4. They're all there. I'm not seeing a manual in there, so maybe this didn't have a manual, because I'm not seeing anywhere to put a manual either. Well, unless it could sit in there. But there is no manual in this, so I'll have to look up to see if it should have one. But there you go, 4 discs. Let's just have a look at disc 1, because that would have been, in theory, the most used. Yeah, not looking too bad at all. Can't see any scratches on that. I mean, some very slight scuffs, nothing major, no gouges or anything. No, I'm really having to look. I mean, obviously, these would have all been dumped on the church by the same household, I'm assuming. Look at that. Just look at that. I'm going to take the stupid sticker off. 75 pence. I mean, yes, I paid more because I chose to give a donation. But the truth is, these were 75 pence or $1.50 was the final price they gave me. Theme Hospital I left there, and there was another PlayStation game I left there. And there was about another 6 PSP games. So, I never had a PlayStation. My nephew had a PlayStation, and he lived with us for a while. That's where I played PlayStation. Gran Turismo, he wasn't living with us when he got that, but I played that on his PlayStation. So I've got memories attached to that. I've got memories attached to that. I've got memories attached to this in terms of my PC at the time wasn't powerful enough to play it. Those are my memories attached to Wing Commander 3. So this is a nice format to have that in. And PlayStations are cheap to pick up. So if I can pick up an original PlayStation, I will do that. But part of me is thinking, even if it's the small one, the PS1 that they bought out, you know, let's call it the Slim, I'd be happy with that as well. You know, at the end of the day, it's about playing the games with that particular console, not specifically the nostalgia for the form factor. But it would be nice to have the original. Whichever one's going to be the more robust, basically, so give me some advice. PSP, that same nephew, he ended up with a PSP. In all honesty, what I'm thinking here, and this is something I haven't done yet to date, but I might just use this as an opportunity to recoup some funds to put it into something else. I'm just trying to think about this hobby sensibly. What I'm saying here, without trying to use the word, is I may flip some of these. And the thing is, if I didn't do it, somebody else would do it anyway. And when I say flip, I mean, even if I sold some of these for $10 each, that's a profit, and it's a very generous price. Even if I sold some of them at $5 each, I'm still making a profit, and that's a giveaway. So I don't want to rip anybody off. I won't be eBaying them. I'll just talk on the local groups to see if anybody's interested in some of them, is what I'm thinking of doing. But not yet. What I'll probably actually do is park all of these on my shelf, because I specifically picked up these because they're good games and they're nice shelf pieces. Hello, Lara Croft. And, you know, so I'll keep them in my collection for a little bit, but they're something that if I need to release some funds, I will happily pass these on. And at the end of the day, I don't want to rip myself off, but the PlayStation is starting to come of age specifically. These have got a good few years, the PSP games, until that happens. But the PlayStation is just at that turning point of, you know, some people still think it's all worthless and they throw it at a church charity shop, whereas other people are starting to have that nostalgia for the PlayStation, and the prices are starting to go like that. So the longer I hold on to them, actually, the more they will actually be worth. That's not why I'm in the hobby. You know that. Speaking of stuff, good stuff. So I just want to end on this. There's a great guy in the Perth Amiga users group called Nick, and he's been wanting an A1200 for a long time, and just hasn't managed to make it happen because they cost a lot of money. He's had a long-running ad on Gumtree and the local marketplaces, just basically asking, just saying, after old computers. And sometimes people will contact him, but they think they already know what it's worth, so it's not worth picking the stuff up. I'm really pleased for him, and I'm going to show you some photos. He's given me permission to tell his story and to show these photos. So I'll start rolling the photos from here. But basically, a guy contacted him and said, I've got this boxed A1200 if you're interested in it. And you'll see from the photos that you'll be looking at now that it's in very good condition. The story is it was a teacher that bought it to do with some of the classwork that he had to do, and then hasn't used it since. So it's been put back in the box, put in the cupboard since 1993 or whenever. Well, maybe a little bit later than that, but it's genuinely hardly used, this A1200 and monitor, all completely boxed. And so when he got the message from the guy, he thought it was a scam or something, and he goes to the guy, I'd be interested, how much do you want for it? And the guy said, I don't know, $20. And he said, I've seen the message myself, and he said, I'm just happy to pass it on to somebody who's going to use it. So Nick, I'm really pleased for you, mate. But yeah, so he got that. He also recently scored a bargain of a Batman pack from the UK, the git. But anyway, yeah, so he's got this A1200 and monitor for $20, all working. Apparently, it didn't want to boot off the hard drive, and then so he just gave it the light tap, and that's just freed up the heads, and it's working again. So the hard drive works, the floppy drive works, everything works, and it looks great. It's going to need a recap, obviously. He knows that. So it's great. It's nice when we think prices have gone crazy and there's people says the guy that's thinking of flipping some games he's just bought. But there are people that are profiteering, let me put it that way. And it's great when a nice guy gets the bargain, and that's what's happened, and it's fantastic. Yeah. So there you go. The bargains are still out there. Take care, guys. Catch you later.